Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. I am Bhumika and today we are going to learn one of the most important grammar rule in English, which is subject verb agreement, or in a short we call it SVA. So whether you are a student or just brushing up on grammar, this video is for you. What exactly SVA, subject verb agreement is? Subject should agree with the verb. That's what it means, right? So the subject and the verb in a sentence must match in numbers. When I say numbers, what is numbers in English? We have singular and we have plural. So if subject is singular, verb should be singular. If subject is plural, verb should be plural. Am I right? Okay, so let's get understand more about this. I'm going to present my screen and we'll talk more about this. Have a look on my screen. Okay, so what is SVA, subject verb agreement? Okay, so if you see, the subject and the verb of the sentence must agree for the sentence to be grammatically correct. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of students or a lot of kids or a lot of your friends who speaks English, but sometimes it sounds like they're saying something wrong, right? And that's what the grammatically wrong part. So if we are speaking grammatically correct, you will always see that subject will agree with the verb. What do I mean by this? Because I kept on repeating subject should agree with verb, but what does it mean? I'll explain you, don't worry. Okay, so as the sentence must agree for the sentence to be grammatically correct, let's notice. So what did you notice about the subject and verb in these sentences? Have a look on these examples now. First example, Thomas like milk. Hen lays eggs. Now we are talking about here a person Thomas likes milk. We are talking about hen who lays eggs, right? Now when I'm saying that subject should agree with the verb, let's understand in these examples that how they are getting agreed, okay? Thomas is what? It's a subject, right? A hen is what? It's a subject. Now can you identify what is a verb here? Anything comes to your mind, and can you tell me what is the verb here? Yes, likes is a verb. Lays is a verb here. Okay, have a look. Likes is a verb. Lays is a verb. Thomas is a subject. Okay, Thomas is a subject. A hen, it's again a subject. But this lays is a verb, and same here, this likes is a verb. What is this milk and what is this egg? This is an object. Okay, what is this? This is an object. A sentence is always made up of subject plus verb plus object, right? So ever you get confused and you feel like, ma'am, I'm not able to get it whether I'm saying right or whether I'm saying wrong, always understand if you are using three things in your sentence can never be incorrect, right? It can never be incorrect. Always it will be correct only if you have these three things. I hope it is visible to you. Subject plus verb plus object. So when I'm saying subject plus verb plus object, what I'm trying to say, that subject should be there, which should agree with the verb, and then there would be an object. So let's clarify more. Let's understand with the help of this PPT again. Okay. Now Thomas, singular one, as I told you, in numbers if I talk about in grammar, we have singular and plural. Singular means one. So subject here is singular. We are talking about one person, which is Thomas, who lays milk. Hen, again I'm talking about a hen lays eggs. So subject is there, which is Thomas, and here is the hen, and it is singular, right? Now let's identify the verb, which is likes. It is also singular. Lays, it is also singular. If I'm saying Thomas like milk, this is wrong. Thomas likes milk, this is absolutely correct. So this is how that subject agree with the verb. Understood? Let's proceed ahead now. Okay, now let's notice for the plural. I just now showed you for the singular. Next one, the mice run from the cat. The children follow the pied piper. Now mice run from the cat. Here I'm talking about not mouse, I'm talking about mice. Means there are many, right? So what's the singular here? Is it a singular? Is it a plural? It is plural, right? It is plural. Though it's a subject, as I said that it is a subject. Similarly, the children follow the pied piper. The children, when I'm talking about child, that's a singular. But if I'm saying children, I'm talking about many. And again many, then it is also plural. Though it's a subject, but I'm talking about whether it is singular or plural. So if it is a singular, it's a subject, sorry. If it's a plural, the children and the mice, so verb should be plural, and that's what the grammatically correct sentence always have. Am I right? Have a look now. The mice is plural because there are more than one. The children, more than one, because child means one, children mean many. Children's, I'm sure you must have seen a lot of people using children's. That's absolutely wrong. We never ever say children's. We always say children means many. Okay, so the here it is plural. So run again is the plural. The children, follow is again a plural. These are the verbs, right? So subject, verb, subject, verb. Subject singular, verb singular, subject plural, verb plural. Got it? Let's understand more. So to help with the correct verb agreement, the basic rule says the subject is singular, verb must be singular. Subject is plural, verb must be plural. So to form a plural of a verb in the present tense, you should remove s or es, or sometimes you will see ies from the singular form. You might be saying, ma'am, we add s, then only make plural. Never ever we do so. We have some examples which I'm going to present you and show you that what are singular and what are plural. So that you should not never ever get confused out of it. If you see here, singular is become. Okay, becomes, s is there, but if I have to make it plural, I'll say become. Same. If you see catches, it is singular. Okay, though es is added, you will say, ma'am, it's plural. No, not at all. Catch, this is plural. Drinks, this is singular. Drink, this is plural. And that's how all these, whenever you see all these verbs, you will always use singular subject. Okay, you will always use singular subject. With all these one, we will always use plural subject because it is plural. I hope I make sense what I'm teaching you right now. Okay, so this is what subject verb agreement is. Let's have a look more with some examples. So the verb to be, they have been followed in a different rule when it comes to subject verb agreement. Irregular verb to be are very commonly misused. We have two type of verbs, regular and irregular. Maybe I'll try to teach that in a next video, not in this video. So where there is one subject which is singular, the correct use to be is either is, am or was. What I'm trying to say? If you notice here, I am feeling excited, or I can say I was feeling excited. Okay, I'm talking about singular, so we always use either these of three things, is, am or was. To be, be is written, be means you have to change the form of be. Be could be is, it could be am, or it could be was. These three things most of the times. Be is written then. Okay. Next, he is very gentle, or he was very gentle. She is, she was. It is, it was. With he, she, it, if you see, I, he, she, it, we are using is, am. We are talking about here singular. This is tricky, but I'm sure you can learn it very easily. Alright? This was singular. Now let's look at plural. So in plural form, we always use are or were because we are talking about many. And whenever we talk about many, we use are or were. So we are or we were. You are, you were. They are, they were. And this is what subject verb agreement, again a tricky. So that was for singular one, which I was showing you. This for the singular one. And this one is for plural one. For plural, we always use are and were. For singular, we always use is, am, was. You can read the examples as well. So now that we have revised subject verb agreement, let's look at some quick questions on the topic. Which pair of verb correct completely the sentence below? Have a look now. This is very interesting and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it too. Mom and Carol. So I'm talking about two people. Means it's a plural. So whenever plural, we will use were. Next, certain that they had heard the air raid siren. Okay. Carol, I'm talking about one. Then it should be was. So the right answer is this. Am I right? Let's check. Yes, this is the absolutely correct answer. Next one. We is or we are. We. I'm talking about many. I can't use we for myself only. We is always used for many. So that's why we are. I always use am. I am packing my swimming costume and towel in my suitcase. And that's how we do plural, subject and verb agreement. Subject agree. Subject is we And of course, if you see the helping verb I'm using, it's not always about main verb. It could be helping verb. So helping verb is or are. Here is or am. So subject should agree with these sentences, and that's what they are trying to teach us. Have a look more. Okay, I've shown you the answers as well. Dash enjoy playing board games. Okay, dash enjoy. I'm not saying enjoys. Enjoy means plural. Sid and Violet. Next, the dash were means I'm talking about many. Dash were parked outside the bus station. So of course the bicycle would be. So bicycles, bus cannot be because we are talking about bicycles, many, plural. The dash was stuck in the traffic jam. Again, the dash, it because we are talking about was. I'm not saying were. If it were, then definitely it would be plural. It is singular. So bus is singular. Next, dash works hard during maths lesson. I'm saying Mercy works hard. Works. I'm talking about singular. So don't think S is there, then it will be a plural. No, not at all. See, what I'm trying to explain you here, that subject should agree. Subject singular, verb singular. Subject plural, verb plural. This is an easy method only to learn this subject verb. Okay? Okay, I would like to teach one more thing. I'm sure, are you feeling confident with this subject verb agreement? I know you can't speak here, but I'm sure you should be. And even if you're not, please let me know. What I've explained you so far, that subject agree with the verb, right? Plural, then plural, singular, then singular. One more thing I would like to show you here. Just a second. Yeah. So, subject, when I'm talking about subject, okay. See, always remember this, that subject could be a noun or pronoun. Okay, subject could be a noun or a pronoun. Okay, next I'm talking about verb. Verb here, it could be main verb, okay, or helping verb. I'm talking about both. So if you think I'm talking about only one thing, no, I'm talking about main verb also, I'm talking about helping verb also, and that's what they are trying to explain you here. Okay, noun or pronoun. When I'm saying noun and pronoun, what does it mean? Noun, you know it, right? A name of a person. I shouldn't teach you this. Name of anything. It's not a name of a person. Name of anything. Okay, name of anything. Next, pronoun. Okay, so now whenever you have seen pronoun, I'm not referring to the particular person name. It could be he, she, right? Whenever we are talking about that particular person, you can say in place of noun what we use, that is a pronoun. That's a definition of bookish language. But what I'm trying to teach you here, whenever you see any sentence, always look at it that subject plus verb plus object should be there. Subject could be noun or pronoun. Verb could be here helping verb. Most of the time it happens that we have main verb along with that helping verb, because only helping verb won't make sense. For example, he is milk. I don't think so it makes sense. He is drinking milk. Then it might make sense. Let me just write it down. He is drinking milk. Now he is a subject here. Is a helping verb. Drink is a main verb, and milk is a object here. So without main verb, the sentence won't make sense. But yes, without helping verb, then it can make sense too. I mean, there are a lot of sentences we don't need that helping verb always. Though it needed, but not always. So this is what I'm trying to teach you. Now one more thing you should mention, or you should see. He, I'm talking about one, so that's why I used is. What if I have to say we? I will use are, because I'm talking about many. And in case of past, we always use were, right? For present, we use always. This is for past, we use most of the times. But if I'm talking about present, okay, we always use is, am. With I, we use am. I'm sure this is clear till here. Okay. So far what we have learned is about subject-verb agreement, that subject should agree with the verb. And if your subject agree with the verb, then only your sentence is grammatically correct. And this is what the grammar simple rule is. And if you understand this subject-verb agreement, and I think then most of your problem is solved. Most of the problem means your grammatical problem related to grammar. You know, you say that, ma'am, I speak well, but my grammar is not good. And this is what the grammar is, subject-verb agreement. Okay. So please review it, please go through it, try to solve some questions based on it. I'm sure all the doubts will get cleared automatically by this. Thank you so much for having this class. I'm sure you liked it. You would have understood what the topic I have taught you. Thank you. Goodbye.